Hello. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hi, how are you? Welcome to Twilspiration. I'm glad that you're here. And today's topic is I was generated from a question a friend of mine texted me asking me on behalf of his friend. So the question was, why is it that when you treat people well, they end up treating you like crap? I think basically he said he's given this person everything, but they treat him like crap and he still wants to do it, but it hurts. Um, so my answer to the question, it was very simple, but then I had, as I look deeper into it, I understand all the intricacies behind it. As much as it looks simple and kind of black and white to myself and maybe to some of you, you might say, yeah, get rid of them, or that would not happen to me, or yeah, what's that about? Because I find myself in the same situation, whatever it is. I'm here to address as many of those as possible. So the bottom line is, if someone treats you like crap and they continue to treat you like crap and you keep giving of yourself and they continue to treat you like crap, you've basically taught them how to treat you. And I know that's hard to swallow for some people, but if you constantly allow them to treat you like crap without stepping up for yourself, without speaking up, without saying, hey, no, or turning around, walking away, in the Bible, it says, turn the other cheek, which means turn the other cheek and walk away. Because if you respect and love yourself enough, then you would know that you would know what you deserve. You would know that you deserve to be honored, to be loved, to be cherished, to be completely treated with the utmost respect. So it's not trying to make you big-headed about yourself or anything like that. It's a genuine, heartfelt respect and love for yourself as a human being. And when you start feeling like that, when you have that deep self-love, that deep unconditional love for yourself, there are things that you can see someone coming at you hurting, and you can see the hurt, but you definitely do not want to lash out at them, because that wouldn't be self-love. But at the same time, you don't want to enable them in behaving in that way, because that's not helping them to be a better version of themselves. You're basically saying, it's okay, keep lashing out at me, I'll take it. And then teaching them also that they can go to somebody else and behave in the same way, especially if their children are involved, if it's a child. You teach them how to treat others, in how you allow them to treat you. And if it's a grown-up, it's the same thing. So it's an element of whether you, the recipient of that bashing, is loving on yourself, and how, which basically says how you deal with the person bashing on you. So I remember I was in a situation where I was with a person who just constantly just want to put me down, no matter what I did, no matter what I said, no matter how good I made myself look, no matter what achievements I had, always trying to put me down. It's almost like keeping me under the thumb, so I didn't feel like I could rise up and do anything. It was a control mechanism. But at that time, I wasn't aware what it was. I just felt it just made me feel worse, just not good enough, tried to overachieve, tried to get the attention, tried to fill myself up with love from an external factor, to fill myself up with that love that I didn't have. But looking back now, as I grew through that years ago, and started becoming, getting to love myself and understanding who I am and why I'm here and my purpose on the earth, I recognize that, yeah, I deserve all the good things. I deserve to be treated with respect. And when people treat me like crap, which they well, I'm thinking about, does anyone treat me like crap? But when they do, yes, I suppose sometimes when people get angry and they say things, they always come back and say they're sorry. But in that moment, you know, if it's my daughter, you know, when she lashes out sometimes, it's just a look. It's just a look to say, no, you know who you're speaking to, right? And if it's a friend, I tend to just go, you know what? I deserve to be treated better than that, and that is not fair. So I'm just going to walk away from this and let you give you some time to deal with what you're dealing with. And 10 times out of 10, they usually either one of two things. I don't hear from them ever again, which tells you that they've got some stuff to deal with and they're probably not the friend that I need right now because I'm on a different level of vibration to where they're at. I'm not turning my back on them. I just said, when you're ready to come and talk to me, I'll be here. But you have to give people space in which to feel uncomfortable in the way that they are behaving so that they can either they do the right thing. Some people won't do the right thing. Some people will go off and not speak to you again, you know, and get involved in various things to try to soothe themselves, you know, whether it's they go and drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, go party, have lots of sex, and, you know, talk and whine about the problem and join other people that are like them in that vibration, in that negative state that just want to bitch and moan. Or they may use that opportunity to go, oh, wow, she's a good friend or he's a good friend. I don't want to lose them. I really hurt them. And start looking at what it is that's going on inside of you that made you behave in that way to someone who truly loves you and cares about you. And in doing that, because I remember another situation with myself where, you know, during that time of the month, it was an excuse. It was a genuine excuse in my head. It was genuine at the time. So every time I just felt that PMT come up, it was just like anybody that was around was just gonna get, you know, knocked down. And the way I knock people down is I just didn't talk to them. So you could say good morning to me, and I'm just like, and you're trying to have a conversation with me, and I'm just in this funk, this horrible funk. I mean, I look back at it now and I laugh, but I remember how I was just so adamant in my feelings that this is what I'm feeling and the whole world should feel it with me. But one person didn't. He decided, no, I didn't do anything to you. Don't manage your feelings. And he basically just walked away and walked out of my life. Um, and that really forced me in a place where I like, you know what, he's right. He didn't deserve to be treated like that. He's a human being. He's trying to love me. He's trying to give me what I need. He's trying to support me. And here is me just being a total bitch, a total horrible bitch, you know? And it forced me to look within. And that was one of the turning points in my life in turning around my behavior, thinking that the whole world owed me something and I'm a victim in it. And people who behave like that, who treat you like crap, they just have that victim mentality, thinking that somebody did something to them, therefore everybody has to pay, you know? And so therefore they have to blame everything outside of themselves and they're never going to go inside. You know, when these trauma happens in our lives, you know, when we're kids, because a lot of the stuff that I had, the anger that I was feeling, that came up, that was triggered through PMT and various other things. Those were traumas from a childhood, you know, childhood abuse, you know, beating, sexual abuse, physical abuse, just all kinds of horrible things that happened. And I'm sure many of you have experienced some horrible things. And sometimes people compare their thing, like, okay, I wasn't raped. My dad only shouted at me. It still resonated in you as a child as something that's horrible. So do not belittle whatever it is that you're going through. Do not belittle it because it's basically created that framework from which you are living your life. You're basically repeating that pattern throughout your life. So whatever it is, if you can go back and you can find whatever that trigger was, where it started. Some people can, but some people may need professional help, to some hypnosis or something to help them calm the conscious mind down so that you can open up the subconscious mind so we can have a look inside. And that's what RTT does. That's what I do. But if you can't do that, then you're going to find that you choose the same boyfriend, you break up with that person, you meet somebody else who basically makes you feel the same way, and you keep doing it, and you just have this pattern. You make a lot of money, but you don't have anything, you don't have any money left to show for it, because you have to somehow, you have to give it away. You end up squandering on something, or you just use it and you never think to invest it and make the money work for you. And just things like that, because you're in a program. It's a pattern of behavior. And every time you're presented with something similar, a similar event, a similar circumstance, you behave in the same way, which gives you the same results. So when you feel like you can't improve in your life, you can't get any better, you're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and you just can't seem to get to that goal that you've been dreaming about. That is because there is a limiting pattern, a limiting behavior that's at play in your subconscious mind, in your unconscious mind. And often we don't really know about it. It's why when you decided you're going to lose weight, or you're going to stop smoking, or you're going to stop drinking so much, or you're going to start going to the gym, or you're going to start studying this or reading this, or you're going to go back and do something that's going to elevate you and grow you as a human being, you find it difficult. You start, and then 2 weeks later, you're back to doing the old thing. It's because of those limiting behaviors, because of those patterns that you have wired inside of your system since a young age. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be a young age. Sometimes something can happen to you in older ages. You see people with PTSD, where they, an intense trauma kind of triggers something that wires the subconscious mind to behave in a certain way. You don't trust people. You freak out when somebody says certain words, just trigger you and you freak out. But, and in the case we're talking about is treating people badly. That's come from somewhere. It's a protective mechanism. You're doing it because you're protecting yourself, because you're trying to feel safe. However, it did make you feel safe in the past. It obviously kept you alive and safe. So your subconscious mind thinks, okay, this is the situation I'm facing. Somebody's asking me these questions. They're questioning my judgment, and now I have to react this way so I can feel safe and not feel insecure, not feel vulnerable. So you end up treating people badly. So how do you turn that around? Is, like I said, you either, if you are the person getting the abuse, you walk away. You say your piece. You say, no, I won't allow you to treat me like this, because I deserve better. I respect myself, and I will never allow you to treat me like this. I understand you're hurting, but that is no reason and no excuse. And if they haven't calmed down and listened, then you have to know within yourself, it's your resolve, it's not mine. But what I would do, what I do, is I go, I have nothing else to say. So when you are ready, I'll give you a moment to think about stuff, feel out your issues, because it's important to feel things out, not project them onto the world, not project them onto another person, because that's how people deal with their feelings. They either express them, or they, so they will talk about it and feel it and scream and just let it out and just recognize it, look at it and go, okay, I see, I'm hurting. And they deal with it there and then. Or they stuff it down, and people stuff it down with all manner of things, as you know. So things like alcohol and drugs and sex. And like I said, misery likes company. So they hang out with other energy vibrations like that. So it makes them feel like they're justifying their feelings, which wires it even deeper. Okay, so when you're not dealing with it and you're stuffing it down, it wires it deeper. And then other people project. They project onto others. It's the government's fault. It's my boyfriend's fault. It's the kids. It's the the boss, it's my friend, it's something somebody said to me that caused it. But that thing that somebody said to you that caused it wasn't what caused it. It was just a trigger of something that was already inside of you. Yeah. And so which is why a lot of people always tell you, whether a psychotherapist or the therapist of some sort or a psychologist will say the answers you seek are inside of you. Everything that you seek is inside of you. So you blaming everyone is just basically a mirror of what's happening inside of you. So when you stop blaming and start looking inside, you start finding the answers, and then you start healing. That's where the healing process starts. So to answer the question, people treating you like crap, you're still giving them everything and they're still treating you like crap. That's perpetuating the problem. So you have to start loving on yourself in order to recognize when you are being disrespected and when you're not being loved. It's not love to let somebody bash you. It's not love to allow that to happen. And somebody bashing you is not loving you either. So both parties need to go and learn about self-love, how to love themselves. And self-love is not something you have to go and find. It's another thing. You don't have to go and find it because we were born with it. We were born with it. We were born to parents to nurture us, to love us, to protect us. But somehow in their story, their parents probably didn't do that. So they brought us up in a certain way, with a feeling of lack, not enough love, talking down to you, making you feel bad, making you feel this fear, this constriction in your being, in your soul, in your heart. So you don't know how to express love. But you had it before. It's already there. It's just that you've been programmed by those people that were responsible for you. And being a kid, the first 7 years of your life, you're a sponge. Your subconscious is wide open because you didn't have a conscious mind at the time. You didn't have a conscious mind at the time. I repeat that. You had pure subconscious. So it's how you learn, so learning to talk, learning to walk, learning to what things mean, learning expressions. You look at your grown-ups and you practice what they're teaching you. So which is why we need to be careful what we're teaching our children. Okay. So if you're coming from a place where your family weren't great and didn't teach you a lot of love, didn't teach you a lot of care, didn't neglected you, made you feel less than, made you feel like you weren't good enough, then it's important that you start healing yourself so you can heal your children. Because lucky for me, I started the process of self-development when my daughter was still quite young. She's been about 9, 10 when I first started, but I started looking into it a little bit before. So I was kind of lucky where I got that chance to start teaching her the things that I was learning along the way. So now she can teach her daughter, and and that's a huge legacy to give your kids, because when we stop coming from a place of fear, we then open up to opportunities. If you're locked down and you're angry and you're fearful and you're sad and depressed, you can't see the things that you genuinely, truly want, that gives you the joy, because they're at a different frequency. And until you start learning about how to love yourself and start heightening your vibration, taking you to the next level where you can actually see the opportunities that you're looking for, it's impossible. Okay? So someone treating you good when you are feeling crap about yourself is impossible. Okay. And also, so at the end of the day, it's self-respect. And you don't have to go anywhere to find it. It's right there inside of you. You just need to have a look at all those feelings that we've stuffed down, or those feelings that we're projecting. Have a look at them and go, what are you trying to tell me? They're yours. Look at them. They're not anybody else's, and it's not anybody else's fault. So start looking at them and start loving on them and saying, okay, thank you for the lesson. But you must get the lesson before you can start loving on them. But once you get the lesson, then you can appreciate them and you can say thank you, love on them, and let it go. And once you let it go, you will experience so much more energy inside of yourself. And every time you experience that, just, I got this thing, I'm not sure who even triggered it in me, but every time I catch myself behaving in a way that that's vibrating on a lower energy scale. I think purple unicorns. I love unicorns, love the color purple. So I go purple unicorns, and it forces me to look at this beautiful purple unicorn glittering, going, hello, is there something you need to work on here? Um, other people use different things. Some people beat up their body and go, yeah, this is how I want to feel. And they change their state, or they get up and they jump and they scream. Some people go for a walk in nature. Some people read a book, something uplifting that will take them to another level. Some people dance to some music. Another thing I love to do, I just turn some music on and I dance and I dance and I dance. Or if you're feeling strong enough that you can handle a conversation, you sit down and you talk it out. Talk it out. That makes you talking it into the right direction so that it's uplifting and you're bringing the right energy to it so that you can heal. But projecting, suppressing is not healthy. Okay, yelling at people and telling them that's their fault, or shouting at the TV and, sitting at the TV and let it just bombard you with more negativity so that you cannot see, so you don't have to feel, all of that kind of stuff, drinking alcohol, just going out and partying all the time, not giving yourself the time with yourself, the space to actually look at what's going on with you in order to heal. Okay, so it's a heavy topic, I know, but the world is changing. There's so much stress and crazy going on at the moment, but this has to happen because people need to wake up. We all need to wake up, which is why we're experiencing this stress and tension, and and you see it everywhere, and you want to separate yourself from everyone, but it's impossible because we're all connected, which is why we feel such discord in ourselves when we're trying to do that. It's important to start looking within and really letting all that stuff come up. Really not being afraid of your feelings. They're yours and they are your prized possession. They're here to teach you how to become your best self. Don't hide from them. So when somebody triggers you, it's your responsibility to go, okay, I'm triggered. If you need to go and see your therapist, flip and go do that. Yeah. If you need to go and sit and talk to someone, do that. If you need, like I said, all those other things that help you get your vibration up so you can actually start looking within. Don't push the feelings away. Never push them away, because you pushing them away, they're going to come straight back at you in a bigger, stronger, more powerful way until you do something about them. All right. I hope that makes perfect sense. If not, please leave me a comment, leave me questions. I am happy to help. I love helping people because I know what this feels like. I know the pain and the hurt that everybody goes through because I've been through a lot of it, a lot of it. And I'm still, I'm still a work in progress. I am not perfect, but I do understand that sometimes it's just really frustrating not being able to get to where you want to get, not being able to just have this consistent feeling of peace, contentment, and fulfillment in yourself because there's so much going on. And that's just an energetic rebalance that you need. So start looking within yourself. Don't be scared. Love on yourself a little bit more. Start writing things that you're grateful for. Gratitude will turn everybody's world around. When you start writing things that you're grateful for, like I'm grateful for the house I live in because it's given me the security. I don't have to live outside. It gives me warmth and peace of mind. Sit down, write a list, write a big list, and then pick things out and write the reasons why and really get into the feeling of why you're grateful for things. I often am grateful for my boyfriend at the moment because he's just a gem. He's just a good soul. He allows me to be myself. We can talk for ages, and he's just really very supportive to my growth and his growth and our growth together. And I'm grateful for my daughter because, I grew up in a way to be completely liberal because when I was growing up, I was kind of under the thumb, beaten, told to shut up, told that I was a chicken and this one, that, and all kinds of names that I was called. And I suppressed all of me. And I learned to start opening up again. And she was the person that actually made me not forced me, but really inspired me to and empowered me to become more of myself and to watch her grow. And she's strong and she's fierce and she's like, wow, don't get in her way. But I'm grateful for her because of what she's taught me. And also I'm grateful for the life that she's living and how she's raising her daughter. And yeah, so go into your list and just feel those feelings, because when you're feeling good, you can't feel bad at the same time. It's impossible. It's impossible. So go make yourself feel better and teach yourself how to learn, how to respect, how to love who you are and who you are becoming. Okay. And stay tuned for more of these, because I love giving this advice. And obviously, take what you want from it. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but take what you want from it. Whatever resonates with you is basically your spirit telling you that, yes, I need some of this in my life. Like I said, leave a comment, ask me questions. You can find me on Facebook. You can leave a comment under the YouTube video if this is the platform that you're on. And I'm happy to help. Okay. In the meantime, stay light, stay bright, and love on yourself even more than you do now. Until next time, cheers. You have been watching Toolspiration with me, Thashna Walsh. I hope you enjoyed the information that I've given. And if you feel there's someone in your life that could benefit from this, please share. I'm happy to hear your comments and your feedback. So leave them below, along with any questions that you may have. I will always endeavor to respond. And don't forget to subscribe to future videos so that we can continue this walk to enlightenment together. Loving the journey with you. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, walk good. Talk soon.